Is it even worth the money to hire a real estate agent in today's market? Well, if you're looking for the answer to that question, you have clicked on the right video. What value do realtors bring to the transaction when you're buying or selling a house? Is it actually even worth it to hire a real estate agent in today's market to help you go through this transaction? Today, I'm going to explain the value and advantages to working with both buyer's agents and listing agents to really help the transaction go as smoothly as possible. Hi, I'm Nick Bellmore. Welcome to my channel where I make videos guiding people through the real estate process and help them to make the very best decisions for themselves. I've been a realtor for the past 23 years servicing the West Michigan area, and I also help realtors up their game as a real estate coach. Okay, let's get into the content. Point number one, negotiation for buyers. What does the buyer's agent do when it comes to negotiation, and why do we need one? Well, the buyer's agent can be a huge advantage to the buyer because of a couple of different pieces when it comes to negotiation. Number one, they've got a lot more experience in negotiating transactions. So quite often the buyer's agent is able to be a fantastic resource when it comes to that point. On top of it, they know a lot of different places where we have the opportunity to negotiate that your average buyer might not. For instance, we might be looking to negotiate on sales price, or maybe it's seller's concessions, or maybe we're negotiating for repairs or credits after the home inspection. Either way, when it comes to negotiation, having a buyer's agent puts you at a huge advantage in the open market. Point number one for listing agents, negotiation. How is it an advantage to have a listing agent on my side as a seller? Well, number one, we know that today, as real estate prices are hitting all-time highs, we need someone to protect that equity. We know that the buyer's agents, as well as the buyers, are looking to negotiate their very best deal. And we want to, as a lister or as a seller, we want to have someone on our side that is playing the buyers against each other in order to drive the price up versus allowing the buyers to negotiate our price down. Having someone protect your equity as a seller is a huge advantage in this or any other market. Number two, market knowledge on the buyer's agent side. Market knowledge is a big advantage when it comes to hiring a buyer's agent. We want somebody who's familiar with a ton of different things about the area where we're shopping as a buyer. A few of the things that's important for our buyer's agent to have market knowledge about. Number one, what does the inventory look like in our area? Number two, what is the average list to sale ratio so that we know we can either negotiate a price below or if we're overpaying compared to market value. Number three, what are the features and benefits locally of the areas that you might be shopping as a buyer? These are all different things that the buyer's agent can help you with as you go through the process. Number two, for the listing agent. Market knowledge is really important when hiring a strong listing agent. Obviously, the ability to showcase your home in your area is a huge piece that falls into that. But beyond that, the ability to protect your equity comes into the market knowledge so often that your listing agent has. Making sure that the offers are coming in at a price that makes sense for you, as well as understanding how fierce the competition is, can often lead to a bidding war created by your listing agent in order to drive your price up. Number three, when it comes to the buyer's agent, process knowledge. Listen, it's important because we know most buyers aren't buying over and over again. For the most part, they might go through this process once every 5 to 7 years. And the process is constantly evolving and changing. So having a strong buyer's agent that knows today's process start to finish and where the possibilities for the buyer to get a better deal are in that process. We know that buying a home can be really confusing, so having a buyer's agent to guide you through that process not only brings peace of mind, but puts you at an advantage when you're out there negotiating. Number 3, process for the seller's agent. We know today that there can be multiple different processes depending on the type of loan that the buyer is getting. Therefore, we're going to want to have a strong listing agent to help us go ahead and guide us through that transaction. We also want a listing agent that has a strong knowledge of the contract to close process, all the way from negotiation to title work to getting the closing set and helping the buyer satisfy the conditions that they might have from underwriting in order to get the seller to the closing table at the highest possible amount. Number 4, when it comes to the buyer's agent, we want to take a look at pricing and home evaluation. Again, this stuff can get really confusing when you don't have a ton of experience or access to that sold data. One of the things that the buyer's agent can do for you as a buyer is put together a CMA, or comparative market analysis, to go ahead and show you what are like homes selling for in the neighborhood. So we're not caught up in a position where we're overpaying for a house based on what the comps in the market show. Number 4, when it comes to a listing agent, is also that price evaluation. Now, this part is super important. Why is that? Because we need to have a strong enough price that we can justify it without going so high on the listing side that the buyers don't even make offers because they don't even see it as a value. Pricing in today's market is an important piece of driving it to the maximum value. We know without a doubt when you overprice a home in today's market, many buyers won't even look at it. But having it priced either at the market or slightly below will drive so much attention that it can often turn into a bidding war, driving that price over and above the average price of a home in the neighborhood. Having a strong listing agent to put you in that position protects and expands the equity that you have in the house, especially when bidding wars are involved. Number 5, when it comes to the buyer's agent, is exposure. What are we looking for when it comes to exposure from the buyer's agent? We're looking for someone who is going to expose the buyer to the most amount of inventory out there. Now, yeah, there's no question the MLS is the base place that a lot of people go, but there's just so much more inventory in our market than just the MLS. A couple of other places that we go for our buyers when we want to give them the advantage is we go to the shadow inventory of our for sale by owners. Who has it out there, but maybe they're not doing a great job in advertising it or exposing the home? The second place that we go is to our builders. So many of our builders have inventory that isn't showing on the market yet because they're spec homes that might be 3, 4, 5 months away. We have connections with local builders so that they're sending us that inventory so we can get our buyers in before the public. That is how exposure can really work on the advantage of the buy side. Number 5, on the listing side, is exposure. Now in this case, it's all about exposure to the possible buyers. We know that buyers can't pay top dollar for a listing that they don't know is for sale. And getting your listing in front of the motivated and pre-qualified buyers, but not just getting it out there, placing its best foot forward is a huge advantage to using a listing agent. Showcasing your home through professional photography and syndicating out to thousands and thousands of IDX sites out there in the marketplace is a big advantage that your listing agent can bring to you. If you found value in this video today, please like and subscribe here to my channel so you can stay informed when I put out new content about buying and selling homes. Also, if you or anyone you know is looking for help with their real estate needs, reach out and contact me, even if you're not searching in the state of Michigan. I have contacts with the top agents all over the nation, and I know they would be very excited to help you with your process with your home search or to get top dollar for your home itself. My contact information is listed in the description below.